Okay, so this will be an audio with a bit of a detailed explanation of your question, just for the sake of extra knowledge, you may call it, or extra information. So, before Vatican II, and then the revision of the Mass or liturgy, as you say, or the liturgical books in the 1960s leading to 1970, when everything was done, we had the feast of Martha and then also of Mary and Lazarus. Okay, so these were celebrated in the church always. I mean, before 1970, if you want to put time limit, they were always celebrated. Okay, Martha was celebrated separately, and then Mary and Lazarus were celebrated, let me say, together. Okay, this before 1970. So this of liturgical history. Okay, so Martha alone, and then Lazarus and Mary together. Now, when they were revising the liturgy after Second Vatican Council, one criteria for the new saint, some saints were taken out of the calendar altogether, like Saint Valentine, now today he's not on the 14th February, but before 1970, 14th February was Valentine's Day. That's why today Valentine is everywhere. Still 14th of February, okay. Though the Catholic Church removed his celebration after 1970. Why was that done? One criteria was that saying that we are not too sure of their identity should not be added to the missal. So because Valentine, for example, again, to go back to him, there were 3 or so Valentines. We're not too sure which of the Valentines is the one for 14 February. Because it's not clear. There are no, let me say, historical documents to ascertain which of the Valentine is 14 February. So like for him, because his character, he lived by which of them? So he was taken out. This same criteria applied to Mary and Lazarus, because there was argument at that time, and that this Mary, well, the same as Mary Magdalene. So why repeating her, because Mary Magdalene is already July 22nd. Last week we had that, remember? Okay, so why repeating her celebration twice? So if she's the same person, then why repeat it? So all celebrations of saints which were more than once, they were taken away. Example, St. Peter, he had 2. They took away 1. Even Paul, he had 2, or they took away some. Just 1 for each saint, because they are new saints now, and we want to make space for every saint. So we don't have to double celebrate a saint, one particular saint twice in the same year, so once for everybody. So Mary, because they thought she was Mary Magdalene, she was taken away. Then Lazarus, his brother, of course, they also couldn't at that time get the certainty of Lazarus. What about? Nothing about him. No, it's only from scriptures we get. But who is he? Nothing. The Bible is silent about him. Just that he died and was, let me say, resurrected by Christ, and that is all. So again, he was taken away. So Mary and Lazarus, the siblings of Martha, were taken off from the calendar in the 1970 vision. Okay, fast forward. 2021, Bible scholars, scripture scholars, and those into historical works came up with a conclusion. Because since then, don't forget, for scholars, they always keep researching. So after more than 60 years, so to say, scholars came to that conclusion, with evidence, of course, surely, and that Mary and Lazarus and Martha, whom we hear in the Gospels, this Mary is different historically and from available sources. She is not the same as Mary Magdalene, as the church had thought. The reason why she was taken away from the calendar in 1970. So it's a different Mary. They are not the same. Maybe those who are scripture scholars who might get that also, But this is beyond the Bible, because this is using extra biblical sources, okay? So it was clarified in 2001 that this Mary is not Mary Magdalene. So it means that, okay, then it was a mistake that we took her away because we thought she was the same. So you have to bring her back again. Lazarus, it was also realized that, yes, Lazarus was with Mary. He is the brother of this Mary and the brother of Martha. So he's a living being. He lived. They got that, confirmation also. So in 2021, to now based on the work of scholars and historical data, The Catholic Church changed the stance now. And then instead of Martha, who was for July 29 alone, we brought back Mary and Lazarus. Of course, they have been siblings who are along, they are one family. So now let us put them together, celebrate them together on the single day. Mary, Martha, and Lazarus, as you hear in the Gospels, they're usually mentioned together. These three, usually mentioned together. So 2021, they were added to the Martha feast. So since then, we don't say St. Martha anymore, but St. Martha, who is, the firstborn, the elderly amongst them, the elders, and then we have Mary, and then we have Lazarus. Okay, so that's how come since 2021 we don't say St. Martha, but St. Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. Obviously, the liturgical books were published before 2021, like the Missal 2010 or 11. So it's not possible to have that. And then our breviaries, the Liturgy of the Hours, in 1975 or something. So it's not possible to have them. So our Missals and our breviaries will still not have Martha. But since we know that they have been added, when we get to their feast celebration, we are supposed to add them. Because once Vatican publishes something, update with a post blessing, even if what we have is not updated, we must update it. I mean, when we are using the old one, because you are living today in 2025. So you have to get used to what is today. All right. So I think I've answered your question with the reasons you asked for and why Mary and Lazarus were added to St. Martha's Day. So if your breviary or your Misa has only said Martha, that'll be the explanation. Please, when you get add the names, okay? Just add them. It makes it complete. There will be siblings who are along from beginning to the end. Thank you, and please pray for me.